Thank you, Donald, for making my wife and I's decision on what country to build our family in so much easier. I'm a natural-born citizen, but my wife is a doctor from Venezuela. A couple of years ago, we moved to the United States from Ukraine, where we were both working as humanitarians for 2 years. We moved because she had gotten to Harvard, and since then, we've gotten married, she graduated, we decided to make our life in the United States, and we filed for a green card. But at the last moment, right in the final steps of the green card process, Donald Trump ended all immigration, including marriage-based green cards from Venezuela and some 30 other countries. So after investing thousands of dollars in the green card application and lawyers' fees and a whole bunch of time, we were stuck in limbo. My wife couldn't work and my wife couldn't leave the country either, because when your green card status is pending, you're not allowed to leave and come back. So she couldn't see her family, and her family couldn't come here because they're Venezuelan and on the travel ban list. So really, we were pissed. But then we realized this could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe we'd been too set on living in the United States. Maybe this was an opportunity to look at other countries and see if they might align more to our life plans and our values. So we started doing our research, and we came up with a long list of countries that we could immigrate to. And a funny aside on this is that for almost all of these countries, I wouldn't be able to immigrate without her. As a doctor, she's a highly skilled worker and desirable. In any of the countries that we might move to, she would get the visa and I will be her dependent. I would get a work permit based on my relationship with her because she's so desirable. I find it comical or maybe tragic that the United States is blocking immigration for someone who is being actively recruited by other countries. But that's a whole different video. So we looked at a whole bunch of countries: Spain, Portugal, the UK, Germany, Australia, Switzerland, New Zealand, Canada. And we compared all of them to the United States on a number of factors. And we created an Excel file with scoring. We scored them on our ease of immigration, our job opportunities in that country, work-life balance, quality of the healthcare system, because my wife intends to practice medicine there. And we want to have kids, so we looked at whether they have maternity leave, the cost of living, the cost of education, the cost of childcare, any other programs that might be helpful for families, and even the likelihood that our child could be exposed to unthinkable violence at school. And we looked at societal and political issues like the potential for the rise of a right-wing anti-immigrant party in another country that might chase us out of there, just like what's happening in the United States. We looked at geopolitical issues. Look, we have experience living in Ukraine in a war zone for multiple years. So we want to live in a country that has a low likelihood of conflict, either international or civil. And we looked at our proximity to loved ones and family. And after scoring them all, the results were really interesting, because the United States came dead last out of all the countries we looked at. Why is that? Well, it's obvious. There's anti-immigrant sentiment and policies here where the mother of our children might risk being grabbed off the streets by a Gestapo at any moment. There's a growing risk of authoritarianism and lack of freedom. There's extremely high cost of living. There's no maternity leave. There's no work-life balance. High cost of childcare and education. So risk of political violence that grows higher every day. And there's exorbitant costs of healthcare. If any one of our family were to get sick, we could risk going bankrupt. So while I was mad at Trump for blocking her green card, I really should thank him, because he gave us the opportunity to look at other options and to find a place that we can call home, feel welcomed, and be contributors to. And his actions gave us time to peel back the onion on this country, the United States, and see how nasty it has become and how it becomes more rotten every day under his leadership. And I hope after we move, one day this country's in a better place and we have a desire to move back. But that is going to take huge changes. And even from afar, I will be a part of it. But for now, I just have to go back to